If you read my last post, you'll see that I started off the conversation using toys as the focus of forgotten items. Of course, any item can become forgotten. The toys often find themselves regularly in this category. Children go through such an expansive time of growth that who they were and what they become is light years apart. And often, on journeys of such length, things are bound to be left by the wayside. In other instances, toys are purchased or handmade and never given to the intended recipient. A grandmother knits a bear for a grandchild yet to be born and passes away before it can be given, locked away in a musty closet only to be discovered by family with no understanding of its past. One such tragic story of items lost to time but found again is recounted below. He told the orphans they were going out into the country, so they ought to be cheerful. At last they'd be able to exchange the horrible suffocating city walls for meadows of flowers, streams where they could bathe, woods full of berries and mushrooms. He told them to wear their best clothes, and so they came out into the yard, 2 by 2, nicely dressed and in a happy mood. The little column was led by an SS man, Vladislav Spielman, the pianist. August 6th, 1944. An orphanage in the Warsaw ghetto of Nazi-occupied Poland was cleared out, and its occupants were boarded onto the trains for Treblinka. 192 children, a handful of nurse attendants, and the principal, Heinrich Goldschmidt. The children were dressed in their Sunday best. Many carried their most prized possessions in a small bundle with them, some holding on to their favorite toy. The children ranged from 3 to 13 years of age, and they were the only family any of them had left. Multiple times Heinrich was offered safety from their ultimate fate in the gas chambers, and multiple times he denied it, ensuring the children would never be alone. His sacrifice and the children lost that day must always be remembered, and recently found forgotten items tied to these tragic events may help to do just that. The children, being from a war zone, had broken pasts. Many of them remembered very little of their histories. As a result, the orphans were assigned a birthday, and these were spread out evenly to ensure each child had his special day. The attendants would create gifts for the children, always handmade, with whatever they could get their hands on. Being in the ghetto meant supplies were always hard to come by. However, this year a very special kit of dyes was secured through a connection Heinrich had with an SS guard. Heinrich was a well-known writer, and it turned out he had written this guard's favorite childhood storybook. Even at the precipice of darkness, childhood memories can pull men from the edge. The staff decided to make teddy bears to help the children ease their constant nightmares. The nurse staff lovingly worked with the materials available to them, taking tattered clothes and cutting them into strips of cloth. One warm, sunny afternoon, the children dyed the strips with the staff in the courtyard, staining their hands and chasing each other around with the vibrant colors of the rainbow. The children were told it was a secret what was to be done with the cloth, and there was an excitement in the air that renewed a sense of hope in all of them. The nurse staff then assembled the bears, layering colored strips of cloth and stitching them together in a beautiful rainbow. Feathers, straw, and bits of other cloth were used to stuff the bears. Buttons and other small trinkets were used for their eyes. Each bear had a unique shape, being handmade and perfectly perfect. Once the bears were completed, they were wrapped in brown paper with a piece of twine and stored in the cellar of the orphanage. Each bear was stitched with the name of the child it was destined for. The bears sat in the cellar waiting for the day they were to be gifted. But as you already know, that day never came. Only 20 bears were made for the upcoming August birthdays. Once the orphanage was emptied, the SS officers used it as a secret police operations center and boarded up the cellar. It was forgotten about until found again by the painter, which is a topic for another time.